Hola guys and girls, and welcome to the week 1 match of the GBA versus NPA League War. We are up against the Orlando Magikarps, coached by none other than TheCoiceSpecs. I did upload a team builder yesterday, so you can check that out to go more in detail what my team is all about. But before we go into team preview of my opponent's team and mine, let's just shout out to guys at the beginning of this match. First of all, of course, shout out to Arapthos for genning this team for me. Here's links in the description, and of course, shout out goes to MetagrossManZ as well. He did record this match for me. Like you know, I do not have a capture card, that's why these are post-comp, and that's why I'm reliant on people like MetagrossManZ to help me out. And of course, same goes for genning. I don't actually counter myself, so shout out to Arapthos for that as well. But yeah, now going into the teams. Of course, like I mentioned, team builder yesterday, check that out for more detail. But very quick overview of my team. We got a Rocky Helmet, Physical Defensive Skarmory, Life Up, Mixed Aura. Then we got Swords Dance, Charizard X, Bulky, Quiver Dancing, Venomoth, Normalium Z, Belly Drum, Double Edge, Azumarill, and Assault Nested Galate. Now, looking at my opponent's team, he brought the Arcanine, the Jirachi, the Mega Venusaur, the Suicune, the Donphan, and the Gudra. So the two ones he didn't bring are the Beware and the Masquerade. Not too surprised about that, they are his lowest tier picks. Beware I prepared for. Masquerade, basically I was only scared about Sticky Webs, which now I don't have to play against, which is very nice. But overall, I'm not too worried about the team he brought. It is what I expected. I think I'm prepared for that. The biggest threat, most likely, will be this Gudra, because the switches to Gudra are pretty limited. I do have a Zoomer, which of course takes the hits from Gudra usually very well, but I'm a more defensive set. And he might have Start from a Power Whip, depending if it's physical or special. So yeah, and Skarmory deals with like the Dragon moves and the physical hits, but you can just go for Fire Blast or Thunderbolt or something like that, and Skarmory goes down. So yeah, Gudra I think is the biggest problem with my team. Other than that, what I'm expecting, Arcanine I'm actually not so sure. Might be kind of Spadef for my Venomoth. Jirachi most likely his Scarfer. Then Mega Venusaur, Bulky, Suicune, Bulky, Donphan. It's a Zmon. So I would be surprised if there's an offensive Donphan like Rock College or something like that. So yeah, that's me going into it. Gudra might be Assault Desert, might be Choice Specs. Donphan, Rock College, Suicune. Physically defensive for Charizard. Then we got Mega Venusaur. It does Mega Venusaur things, probably going to be Bulky. Jirachi's Choice Scarf, and then Arcanine. I want probably especially offensive, I want to say, but I'm not so sure. Venusaur might be more specially offensive, that means Arcanine is more offensive. But either way, going to this team, my Charizard basically does well versus everything on this team. The Gudra I can Oko, Dragon Claw, Outspeed, Bearing Scarf. The Suicune I can set up against and go to town. The Venusaur I can set up against and go to town. The Jirachi I don't too scared about that, and the Arcanine as well. But he does have the Donphan. The Donphan I wouldn't have a good matchup, because I can't do too much damage to him, and he does a lot to me with Earthquake, especially if he's an offensive variant. So in the end, because of that, and Donphan in itself is a likely lead, it's with Jirachi, one of his rockers and stuff like that. So in the end, I decided to go with Skarmory and not with Charizard because of Donphan. Because even if it leads to something else, like the Arcanine or the Gudra, which scare my Skarmory out, I do have switches to those in Galate and the Charizard versus the Arcanine, for example. So yeah. That's why I think it's safer to lead the Skarmory, and that's what we're going to do. So let's hop into this match and see what my opponent decides to lead with. If he leads with Donphan, we of course will be good to go to get those spikes up and basically beat this guy 1v1 since he can't Toxic us. Best thing he can do to me is knockoff, but that's not going to do too much. But either way, he does leave with Charizard. He does leave with Arcanine, and he's Intimidated. That's of course annoying. We don't want to take a fire attack, so we are going to switch right away into our Charizard. We are not Mega Evolved yet, so if he goes for Wild Charge, he will do a lot of damage. But I did the calcs, he can't Oko me, even if it's offensive Arcanine. And after that, I can just Mega Evolve and Roost. He does go for the Flarelet, so does go for safe play. And after this damage, I can tell that it is an offensive Arcanine, because it is way too much for being a resistive hit. But he is offensive and is leftover, so that's a bit concerning. Don't know his exact attack investment, probably going to be some. But either way, I'm just going to Mega Evolve and Roost. Play it very safe right here. Still need this thing to be a switch in to the Arcanine since it's offensive, so I rather have the Charizard healthy than going for an attack right here. And he does switch into his Suicune, which is one of the mons I want to break through with my Charizard. So I'm going to use this chance to just Swords Dance up with this guy. The worst thing could do to me is either roar me out or go for Toxic. So yeah, I'm just going to go for Swords Dance the following turn, and then try to basically KO this thing, or 2-KO this thing with Dragon Claw, depending if it's physically defensive or like more special defensive. So yeah, we do go for Sword Sense, we of course do outspeed, we're not surprised there by he would be a Scarf Suicune, and he does indeed go for the Toxic, and he does hit, so that means our Charizard isn't not here to stay in for long amount of time in the match, but that's not what it's built for either way, so we are fine with that. Right now, we are ready to just fire off a +2 Dragon Claw and basically destroy something. He does stay in with the Suicune, and after this damage we can tell that he's physically defensive because he takes that rather well, that's around 60%, and he pops out the Reflect, which is very surprising. My part didn't saw the Reflect coming now, but Dragon Claw will only do half to him. And looking at the damage though I did with the first Dragon Claw, he looks like I could KO him with the second one, so I'm actually gonna risk it right here, going for a second Dragon Claw. And like you can see right here, it will not be enough, and he pops the rest, and because it didn't saw leftovers, he is indeed chest to bury as well, so yeah, my plan didn't quite work out. I don't know how role dependent all these shenanigans was, I don't know how physically he was, but either way, we are not able to kill him. He's a good health, and we take a lot of toxic damage. And right here, I do not want to stay in repeatedly versus him. I could go for Dragon Sword Sense and then 2 hero, but that's just too many turns of toxic, and we lose our Charizard basically for nothing, barring getting good damage on him. So I do just hard switch into my Venomoth, because seeing that he has Toxic, Reflect, and Rest, and Scald like his last move, he doesn't have Roar, and that means I can use this thing as setup for my Venomoth. So I'm just gonna straight go for the Quiver Dance. He would burn me, not too big of a deal, would cancel out my Black Sludge, but I'm not a physical attacker of course. And he does hard switch into Mega Venusaur, which is great news for us because this Venomoth was built to take on this Venusaur. So we already have +1 Speed F. So even if he's offensive, his hit power fires won't do too much to us, maybe around 30%. So yeah, but I'm just gonna go straight for a Substitute right here, because if he decides to go for something else like Sleep Powder or Seed, Substitute gives me, it's basically just a free sub, and then I can go for +2, and he doesn't break my sub anymore for HP fires, and we can basically start commencing the Venomoth sweeping plan versus him. He does go for Hidden Power Fire, so sadly he doesn't have, or he didn't go for Leech Seed or Sleep Powder, and he does break my sub, so that tells me already he's more offensive Venusaur, because defensive wouldn't be able to do that at +1 with my bulky Venomoth. Reflect is gone. But yeah, I'm just going straight for Bug Bust because I want to see how much, what kind of damage we can do to this Venusaur. And that's looking like around max HP. And this hidden power fire you will see does around 30%. So yeah, he's max special attack modest and probably max HP. So something around that at least. So that means we have to rest up right here. We can do basically recover all this damage he did to me with these hidden power fires very nicely. And yeah, be nice and healthy, get a few more Quiver Dances, get a sub up, and yeah, basically commence the Venomoth plan, which is going very smoothly so far. He didn't get one crit yet with his HP fire. Right here, I do decide to fire off a Bug Bust instead of another Quiver Dance, because right here, after he saw the Roost, he should know that he can't beat me 1v1, so I thought he might try to switch out with something else, but to beat the Roost. But no, he does stay in, just to go for a second HP fire, does very little, forces me basically to Roost right here once again. And yeah, you can basically see what happens right here. I Roost, he will actually decide to Synthesis in this turn, so we see now that he has Hidden Power Fire and Synthesis, so that's not too big of a surprise that he has Synthesis, and it's pretty standard for Mega Venusaur, but either way, now we are both at good health, but I'm still at +1, and since he didn't go for HP Fire, I'm healthy enough to not even die to a HP Fire crit, so I can just go for my second Quiver Dance right here. And yeah, decide to use this Venusaur. I said I thought about, he actually decides to switch out right here and goes into Old Drippy, which is his Goodra. And right here, it is pretty interesting to find out what kind of Goodra this is and what kind of thing he wants to do versus me. Because obviously, if he's Choice Specs Fire Blast, he can 2-hit KO me since I'm at only a +1. If he's not Choice Specs Fire Blast, he can't 2-hit KO me. He needs to be Choice Specs to 2-hit KO me at +2 special defense. If he doesn't have Fire Blast something like that, and he only has Draco Meteor, then of course I can just go for sub and drop into -2, and then I'm good to go as well. If he's only Flamethrower, even Choice Flamethrower wouldn't be able to KO me, and if he's not Choice Flamethrower, then he only does even less, he does like 30% once again, since I'm at +2, and I can just start use this thing as setup fodder. So right here what I'm going to do is just go for a Substitute. First of all, scout what kind of move he has. If he only has Flamethrower, there's something to worry about, and if he's Draco, I get drops, and if he's Fire Blast, we still have to scout if he's Choice Specs. But he does have the Flamethrower only, and if he had Fire Blast, of course, there would have been a mischance where I could have completely gone for sub and Roost and stuff like that. But yeah, he does have only Flamethrower, so even if he's Choice Specs, that thing is not a threat. We can just go for another Quiver Dance right here, which the only thing which would be annoying if he's Choice Specs Flamethrower and he crits me right here, because that would actually kill me. But yeah, he does go for a Sludge Bomb exit right here, particularly switch out, which is very nice. So we do know already he's not Choice Specs, he can switch up moves, so that means his Flamethrower is nowhere near of a threat. And right here there will be a very long part of the game where I try to get up to at least +5, because I need +5 to OHKO Arcanine with my Bug Buzz. Everything else already drops to Bug Buzz once I go for that. So there will be, like I see, Flamethrower does nothing. There will now be a very long series of me trying to once all get a sub up, be healthy, and get to +5. All of this together. I will go for sub a lot of times because I don't want to Quiver Dance without a sub, because then he can crit me, get a lot of damage on me. I need to be at full health. Now wait, even if I'm at full health, the crit Flamethrower, since it ignores my stat boost, has a chance to KO me. So in this part of the match I want to risk it as little as possible, so I will actually speed it up because this is a very long part of the game. So let me just speed this up 3 times, and yeah, you will see me just repeatedly go for sub, Quiver Dance as a roost, and yeah, not too much to comment about. This is just Manamorph going to using this Goodra to set up. He thankfully spoilers. Here, go for Bug Buzz just to scout the damage. He turns out he's not Assault, there's these leftovers, and I thought he might switch out because he sees that I'm using him as a setup fodder. I'm just throwing some Bug Buzzes in there, so you want to get your opponent to stay in, because he always has to scare that I might throw a Bug Buzz on the turn he switches, and then he loses them on whatever he thought to switch in. So either way, you will actually get some crits, but they're only versus my sub. So for example, right here, you got a crit with my sub. So that's exactly the reason why I play this part of the game is so long, where I try to roost equivalence as little as possible in front of him. And there's a long part where I try to get a sub up at +4 special defense only, because in that scenario he needs a roll to break my sub. But he always gets the roll or a crit versus me. So in the end I decided to get a +5 with my crit dances, get at my sub, and now he can't break my sub anymore, like you can see right here. And now I just want to be healthy as well and still have a sub at the end of the turn, because if I still have a sub out of this exchange with the Goodra, I can kill 2 Mons. He sadly still has the Arcanine with offensive, so he has extreme speed, which will break my sub, and he still has the Donphan with sturdy, so that thing will live as well, of course, and be able to get a hit on me. So Venomoth, I know already at this point it won't be able to 6-0 him just because of these 2 things. And yeah, that's so I just want to have a sub to get at least 2 more kills. I kill the Scizor and then I still kill the Arcanine, and then I bring down the Donphan to 1 HP. There you see, it gets a crit again, that's my sub. So yeah, he's not critless. I'm just playing very safe around this thing, because if you're at this amount of setup with your Venomoth and you have this prime chance to get a sweep versus your opponent, it's looking very nice. You don't want to risk too much. So yeah, right here, I'm around at 50%. He does go for Intimidate, doesn't affect me. He does go for Extreme, he does break my sub. Let me slow this down again, so we are back at normal pace. And yeah, I roosted with the Arcanine because if he if he's just max attack, the Extreme Speed actually will do less than sub damage. So I actually would be healthier. After the Extreme Speed right here, I can still go for Bug Buzz and actually am healthier then I would have gone straight for Bug Buzz, if that makes sense. That's what I did for Roost right there. In afterthought, he could have still gotten the crit. So probably I tried to be smart right there, but don't know if I actually was smart at there. But at the end it worked out. I'm a bit more healthy. And now, of course, he brings in the Donphan. And now it depends on 2 things. Is he indeed an offensive Donphan? Because then Earthquake will always KO me. Or if he has Stone Edge. Because if he has Stone Edge, even a defensive Donphan does KO me from here. I could go for sub to Scout. But if I sub to Scout, I'm guaranteed range of Earthquake even from a defensive Donphan. So in the end, I decided just go straight for Bug Buzz and check what kind of Donphan he is. Of course, if he's not sturdy, he just dies right here, but I very much doubt that he's not sturdy. Like you can see right here, he is sturdy, and he goes for the... it lags a little bit right here. Why does it lag? God damn it. Why lag at special time? He does go for Earthquake, and we will see right here that he does kill Venomoth, sadly. So he's an offensive Donphan, like expected. Venomoth does go down here, but that Venomoth did put in a lot of work, killed the biggest threat to my team, which was the Goodra, get rid of the Arcanine, and basically got rid of the Donphan as well, which only had 1 HP, and now we can just go for Drain Punch versus Gallade. I did go for Drain Punch, it did go into Gallade versus this Donphan to kill him, because I don't want him to go into Venusaur versus me, because Venusaur, I want him as weakened as possible. Does go into Jirachi right here. I do expect to just go for Iron Head or U-turn or something like that. Either way, I do just go into my Scammer because I want to get some spikes up and I want to wear this thing down with Rocky Helmet. Like I said, I'm expecting this thing to be Choice Scarf, but it actually pops up the Thunder Wave. So that's a pretty big indicator that this thing is actually not Choice Scarf, which would be great news because the only thing Mons he has left right now are the Jirachi, the Mega Venusaur, and the Suicune. We know Suicune is not Scarf. Mega Venusaur is definitely not Scarf. And Jirachi seems to not be as well. That means that the Mega Charizard actually outspeeds everything on his team. And that could be very great news, because if I get SD up and outspeed everything on his team, once the Suicune is a bit more weakened, I basically win the game. So yeah, right here, I do decide to just repeatedly go for spikes, and then go for Brave Birds versus the Mega Venusaur to wear this thing down, because wearing this Mega Venusaur down does one help my Charizard, and it does help my Zeraora as well, because not only Charizard outspeeds this whole team, Zeraora as well. And if this thing is gone, Zeraora basically wins, because the knockoff will do a butt turn to Jirachi, and of course Blastoise will kill the Suicune. Right here he does go for Synthesis, I think praying for a Para, which he will actually get, which is a bit annoying. That was the worst case scenario for a Para right here, because now I don't get Brave Bird damage on him, and I just sack my Skarmory, so the Venusaur is still healthy. Still getting this Brave Bird damage off there would have been great, because I would have killed myself, and the Venusaur would have been way more weak. And they've basically been in range of Plasma Fist after now switching off spikes from my from my Zeraora. But right here I can just go to Galate, just fire off a safe Zen Headbutt. He could go to Jirachi, but just getting spikes damage on that is very nice, and I could still fall for knockoff. He doesn't know that, but he still has a healthy Suicune. So yeah, I just go straight for Zen Headbutt. And weaken this thing is nice. Like, right now, if I weaken Suicune, basically Charizard wins. If I weaken Mega Venusaur, Zeraora wins. So one of the two I have to weaken or kill for the other two to sweep. Right here I do just hard switch out into my Zeraora, because I don't want him to get a Reflect Up. If he gets a Reflect Up, I can just go for 2 Volt Switches and kill him. If he gets a burn, I can still go for 2 Volt Switches and kill him. And of course, if he doesn't get the burn, I scam out, going for Volt Switch, get momentum. Which actually doesn't happen. I do go for Volt Switch, like you see right here. I could have killed him with Plasma Fist, but his Mega Venusaur was still so healthy that I thought he might switch that in. Sadly, he does the in, and I just hope he doesn't go for rest. I just go into my Charizard right here, which is the best thing to take a Scald. And like you can see right here, he just goes straight for his Scald. Obviously, I do outspeed him right here. He doesn't have good switches to my Charizard, so I can just go straight for Dragon Claw and kill this Suicune. Which does open the door a lot for my Charizard. But since Charizard is now that weakened, because I couldn't roost right there, risk him to go for rest or something like that. So now my Charizard is pretty weakened. So it's most likely not sweeping, but I can get a roost up versus something. But it's definitely still worth keeping my Charizard, since the Jirachi is Thunder Wave, most likely means it's defensive. Most likely means that I can still outspeed it with my Charizard. So I do actually decide to keep it right here and just switch hard into my Galate versus this Venusaur. Since we assault tested, we chew every hit. Like, this is a max special attack modest Venusaur, and you will see soon how little damage it does versus my Galate. So right now he only has the Mega Venusaur left and the Jirachi, so it's looking nice for Zeraora. I just have to weaken this thing. I do actually go for knockoff, predicting to go into the the Jirachi right here. He does stay in sadly. Let's go Sludge Bomb. That does very little damage, since Galate is so bulky. And right here, I of course go just was an headbutt to basically try to kill his Venusaur. So like I can see that there's a butt ton of damage, since it's not the bulky Venusaur, this just max HP. Let's go a second Sludge Bomb right here, and does sadly not get the poison. I just fire for Close Combat right here, because it would kill the Venusaur, and in case he wants to be cheeky and go into Jirachi, that does a butt ton of damage to that as well. Knockoff sadly wouldn't have killed there. But now it's basically game over, since now that Venusaur's gone, and he only has the Jirachi left, there's no way that he can kill my whole team only Jirachi, which is either it's most likely not Choice-Scarf, since it showed the showed the Thunder Wave. And he is not Choice-Scarf. Even my Galate does outspeed him, like you can see right here, which is pretty slow, and he does have the leftovers. Iron Head will KO me because of my drop of Close Combat. So just going for Zen Headbutt would have preserved some differential, but like here I can basically choose, do I get a kill with Zeraora, or do I get the kill with Charizard? And I do decide to get the kill with Zeraora, because I drive the thing, I want to use the thing, and I didn't click Plasma Fist yet. I still want to see how the animation looks with Plasma Fist. And yeah, we can get the kill with Jirachi, even if he's max physical defensive. At this range he dies to a max attack Adamant Life Orb Plasma Fist. So Jirachi does go down. That means we do win a total of 3-0, I think. I think we win 3-0, yeah. Yeah, Charizard, Zeraora have survived, and the Azumarill. Azumarill didn't even hit the field. We play without Azumarill. Who even needs that? Sea-Value from Azumarill? Ha! Who uses that in the match? But yeah, that is the first game of this league where we do pull through for the GBA, getting a 3-0 win versus our opponent ChoiceSpecs and his Orlando Magikarp. His links will be in the description. Definitely check out his site for the match. I want to see some of his thought process, and I'm sorry that I already said sorry to my opponent that I took so long with Venomoth, but I just want to play very safe with it. Like, once I got to +3, I was in the mindset I can't mess this up at this point. I'm already +3. If I don't get a few kills right here, I don't know. I shouldn't draft setup mons. But either way, that's all for this upload. If you did enjoy, definitely leave a like and subscribe. You know the deal. Hit me up on Twitter and Facebook. All links in the description. And yeah, I will see you another time. Ciao.